What's going on, guys? Welcome to the episode 15 of Not So Cheap Build here on my channel. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm showing you my 1974 Bronco that I completed 2 years ago. I did a little video of this already. So um, I love my Broncos. I also love working on them, and I love building them. So this is one example. I hope you're enjoying the contents of my channel, especially the builds of the Broncos. And it's not gonna stop there. We're gonna do more in the future. Also, if you're watching my videos and you have ideas on what you want to see, just keep in mind though, I don't like doing a do-it-yourself or how to because I don't want to be liable for any unsafe practices, right? My channel is about me doing things, and if you do pick up things here and there, then use it at your own risk. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to answer questions. If you want to email me, let me know, reach out, and then I'll answer you based on my experiences on building these Broncos. Anyways, for episode 15, I think I'm gonna focus on the drivetrain, like the axles, brakes, brake lines, and things like that, in preparation of putting in the engine tranny transfer case, right? Which is another totally set of new videos. I try to work on this every day, so we're moving along really well. I still have a few things on the body, like the tire carrier, and get that out of the way, and then I'll move to the axles, and then we'll just kind of keep on moving from there. Once the engine, tranny, and transfer case have been rebuilt and put in the frame, we're getting really close, guys. I would say about that time, maybe 80-85%. Put the body back on, paint it, wire it, and ready to go. So it's gonna move along. Keep track. Watch episodes 1, 2, 14. That's on my channel right now. To keep up. We'll just be updated on where I'm at with this project. Alright folks, and the reason why I'm using this and not the original 1975 setup is because this looks like, well, it doesn't look like, but it's a dual piston caliper, and it looks like it came from some sort of a Cobra vehicle. So the whole setup here hooked up to a Dana 44. So this is far superior stopping power than the single piston Ford setup that came with the 1975 Bronco. So this is amazing. This is cool. Let's take it off, clean it, rebuild it, and put it over there. Alright, this side is off, but the hubs need to come off. And then I have to take this bracket off because it's that's what makes it work. Anyways, I researched it. That's the disc itself. I researched it, and this looks like a Mustang Cobra, a dual piston caliper, customized to it. So, hey, sometimes you find something that works, and sometimes, like I said, I almost don't want to use it because it looks like it's rusty, but now that I've taken it apart, it's worth at least a couple $100, $200-300 for the setup, so maybe even more. So it's definitely saved some money, but they'll transform the braking power of the Bronco to a much more powerful braking. And this is the bracket I was talking about, the housing that holds it. The pads actually still look good, but now that I know the part number, I can order new pads and they'll be good.
Alright guys, I kind of wrapped it up for today because I haven't eaten lunch and gone upstairs. But as you can see, I took off the arms. Like I said before in one of my videos, I'm going to use the arms because the Bronco over there, the frame, while in the junkyard, they bent the arms. So I'm going to reuse the arms is here. Speaking of that, let me show you where it is now. I still need to sandblast it, alright, and then paint it. Aside from it being rusty, surface rust, it's in good shape. So that's going to get sandblasted, painted, and then put back with new bushings. The brakes, this is new. I measured it. It just needs to be shaved. So I'm going to take that in to get shaved, paint the rest of that, done. Buying new pads, ready to go. I am just definitely so excited, and pardon all of the mess. I'm in the middle of a build, so when I'm done, I'm done. That's the status of the dual piston brakes, and I'm still doing some research on what year it came from, but the serial numbers right there will tell me. Anyway, that's gonna be a good stopping power right there. The bracketry is right here. It's already cleaned and painted. It's in great shape, so not much to do there but take off the surface rust, and then put that all back with clean hardware, and that will be brand spanking new. So that's the status of that. I hope episode 15 I'll be able to get the front end done on this Bronco right here, and then that'll be the closeout of episode 15. But I'll be lucky if I'll be able to get all of this plumbed for brakes, but may not be the case. Yeah, alright folks, different day, episode 15, continuation of rebuilding the front section, front axle and suspension today. So let's just go into it, and then at the end of the day I'll give another update. Let's go. In the spirit of rebuilding, parts that can cost some money, but still rebuildable, I'm applying the same concept on the radius arm. So I've already mentioned before that the other one is bent, so I'm going to take one from the Bronco donor frame. This one right here. So cleaning surface rust is, you can do it many ways. What I do, and I've done before, is use my pressure washer, sandblaster type. That's one way, but setting up, breaking down, it's messy, everything gets wet. So sometimes I opt for other options. This right here is really good about removing scales and surface rust. So I'm going to run it, probably take about 5-10 minutes to clean it, and then I'm going to treat it with the rust converter, and then paint it, and then I'm done. So let's get to it. Alright guys, today was not productive. Well, it is in a sense that I did a lot of things, but a couple of changes. This is a Ford knuckle with 5, holding the spindle, 5 bolts, and the one I took off over there has 6 bolts, which means the caliper on the other one didn't work. But let me show you what I mean about that. Wasted a lot of time, but not really, right? Because all of this stuff is all nice and painted and restored, so I can put that away and then we will also restore this axle because that's where it goes. So I figured this spindle right here, guys, is from a Chevy. That's a Chevy Dana 44 spindle. It fits all the Dana 44s, obviously, but that's what they did to convert that. I have a brand new one in a box somewhere, but I'm gonna stick with the Ford stuff because that's what it works. So that's pretty much, I think, what I've done today. Sometimes, it's not all smooth buttery, right? Or buttery smooth, and you gotta work it. So that's what I'm doing right now. This is the Ford calipers that's going in there. Unfortunately, it has single piston, but this piston is huge, and that's what I have on my red Bronco, and it works well. So that is the disc brakes. And another setup too that I noticed is that you see the hub is on top of the disc brakes, and it's the studs are pressed into the disc and the hub. On the other one, the disc brakes goes in. I mean, the hub goes inside, so pretty much on top of that. So it's so much different, and I can't use that. But this is what's gonna look like restored. That one is not restored yet, so I'm just gonna work on those, restoring these things, painting them, and then putting them back together, and it should be ready to go. I'm tired today because I had to wrestle the radius arms, putting the radius arms and the degree bushings, C bushings. It's not fun with those things, but so that's why I'm tired. And also, of course, I'm disappointed that putting those lifted springs is not what I eventually wanted, because again, I'm building this for my daughter and my wife, and I think the more stock height, the more stock ride is a better ride for them. So I'm gonna go back to stock springs with 33s. I think she's still gonna look really, really nice with it. And then besides, I don't have to change too many things. There's 7-degree bushings on the C bushings, and I think that'll work with the stock springs with even more camber, right? So we'll all of this experimentation, and if I gotta change it, I'll change it later. But for now, brand new bushings is all in there. Episode 15, different day. This episode is full of just failures, but that's without failure, there's no success, right? And that's how I put it. Anyway, first failure is that I already have the arms. If you notice, I already have the arms, the radius arms in, which means I had the 7-degree bushings there, and because of thinking of lifting it about 2.5 inches. Anyway, this spring that I have laying around, I used. It looks brand new. It's just it's not made for early Broncos. It's too thick. I think it's for like 78, 79 Broncos. And besides, it's more than 2.5 inches of lift. That's like maybe 5 inches of lift. So plan B, I'm taking out the arms again, and then taking out the 7-degree bushings, replacing it with a 2-degree bushings, because I'm going back to stock height. Maybe a little bit of a lift, maybe an inch and a half with a different kind of springs. But the 2-degree bushing should work. See this right here? That's a Wild Horses old springs. It's got surface rust in it. And I sandblasted one, and I'll show you here in a minute what it looks like. After painting, it's going to look brand new. That's the stock springs beside it. So not much lift. Maybe, what is that? An inch, 2 inches. So not bad at all. Okay, so after sandblasting and now treating it with this rust conversion, that's what it looks like now before painting. It has a chemical reaction because it's killing the rust that's in it right now, but it's not bad. It's still a whole good coil spring. They'll provide the lift. Came from this frame right here. guys, you all know what this channel is all about. Rebuilding things for use instead of that's the priority anyways, right? Instead of buying straight up, because I don't have the money for that. So anyways, these calipers are Ford calipers. You can see right there, Ford calipers. And my failure with the Cobra calipers already. They didn't fit, but I'm going to save that for something else. This I'm going to go ahead and use. So I'm rebuilding it. It was a lot of surface rust. Cleaned it. Now I treated it with rust preventer, and then it will be painted all throughout, and it'll come out really nice. So the pistons I've checked, there's no rust in it, so it can be rebuilt. The gaskets, the seals are still pretty good, so we're gonna rebuild that. Moving on. All right, I think I'm gonna close out episode 15. Didn't get to finish the brakes, but I was able to rebuild it. I still gotta put it back together. That's pretty much it. But there's the springs, guys. Gives it about a, I don't know, maybe 2-inch height, just to level it without going crazy, changing all kinds of pinion angles and drop down brackets. Of course, it's gonna get brand new brake lines. Might as well rebuild all of that stuff brand new. That way it stops super. Okay. Carrying on with the build. Episode 15 didn't hit my goal, but I think that it was a successful episode. Couple of hang-ups. Anyways, here's the brakes, the disc brakes that came with it from the junkyard. It is brand new. They haven't used it. There was a lot of surface rust, but I've protected it now. Changed a couple of these studs right here that was missing, so that is pretty much ready to go. Just gotta clean them up, make sure that there's no paint on the surface right here, but I still have, I'm able to sand that down before I put it in. There's the calipers right here, and the innards, of course. I'm gonna put that together, and then that's ready to go as well. All right, I hope you guys enjoying this episode of the Bronco build, and learning a lot of things here myself. I'm not sure if you're learning, but you gotta be very patient with this thing.